the Tangente Rose Gold Neomatik. The reference 160.S1 from Nomos. Let's talk about it. Terry and I thought it was important to do a video on this watch. You will never see one and probably never have the opportunity to buy one. Right, so this watch, Nomos has teased the release of this watch. I understand them teasing it. Maybe, did they need to tease it in quite such a voluptuous way? I don't know. It's a very, can you tease something in a voluptuous way?
You can tease anything you want in a voluptuous way.
This watch is to celebrate, I gather, 175 years of watchmaking at Glashütte in Germany. It's a beautiful watch. It's a beautiful, beautiful watch. But let's talk about why you're never going to see one to start off with. It's severely limited. And I don't mean that in functionality or style or anything like that. It's celebrating 175 years, so thusly, they're strictly limiting the production to 175 pieces. Makes sense, doesn't it, Tez?
Absolute sense.
Yeah, it makes absolute sense, and it was very pretty, and we like talking about Nomos, so we're going to talk about Nomos. What's really cool about this watch, specifically for Nomos, is it's made in 18 karat rose gold with an in-house automatic movement, which actually is fairly typical for Nomos. But Nomos is like sleek, contemporary, Nordic-ish styling. They're German, so do they count as Nordic? But it's Nordic styling. It's very contemporary, simple. It wouldn't look out of place in IKEA. Minimalist. Minimal detail for maximum effect.
I think it's the perfect watch for an architect.
You heard it here first. Nomos is the perfect watch for an architect. The man who drives a Saab wears a Nomos, okay?
And likes his walls painted white.
Not just white, eggshell. Excuse me, Terry, I'm just going to have a refreshing sip of dirty water. Carbonated. Let's talk about this watch in a bit more detail, shall we? Really nice minimalist design, two-handed design, but it's got one of my favourite complications ever.
Small seconds?
Small seconds, yeah. So two-handed design with a small seconds, and it's got a really nice rose-coloured sub-dial for the small seconds, and I love it. I love it. It's 35mm in diameter. So I think it would suit Terry. Not sure it would suit me. I'm actually wearing, this is a 37, and I think it's a good size, but I don't think I could get away with a 35. And by the way, guys, just to talk about it, this is the new Hamilton Khaki Field Expedition in 37mm on a Hamilton NATO strap, because Hamilton, you missed a trick. You really did miss a trick. It's not my watch. Terry owns it, but I sold it to him, so I get to wear it. So apparently the two-tone styling of this watch harks back to the early days of Glashütte wristwatches. So the two-tone design of the Tangente Rose Gold Neomatik gives this limited edition a classic touch, and it's got a white silver-plated dial with brown accents that complement the warm tones of the rose gold case. And that was read fairly verbatim, so if I get anything wrong, blame Nomos themselves. It does use Nomos's in-house DUW 3001 or 3001 caliber, and it's apparently a uniquely slender movement in watchmaking, measuring just 3.2mm in height. So that's very cool. Well, we like that. And it's actually got the number that you get for the limited edition engraved on the back as well. In terms of the materials used in this watch, we've already talked about the 18 karat rose gold case. The outer ring on the dial and the recessed small seconds hand are coated in rose gold as well, so they match really nicely. The threaded hands, which are typical for Nomos apparently, are made of solid rose gold. But the strap is made of brown Horween genuine shell cordovan leather. Words that I don't understand. Don't understand at all. But the height of this watch, the thickness, is only 6.9mm. And that's amazing. That's beautiful. This watch is going to wear stunningly. Like, this watch, I think, is on par with something like a Calatrava or a Patrimony or something. It's beautiful. So yes, the diameter, 35mm, talked about it. The height, 6.9mm, we've talked about that. The lug to lug is 43mm. This watch is going to wear so lovely, so snugly. It's got a beautiful sapphire crystal case back. It looks wonderful. It's beautifully finished, as are all Nomos movements. It's also got, obviously, sapphire crystal on top of the dial to protect it, as you'd expect at this price. Automatic, we've talked about it. Water resistance, 30mm. We expect that from a dress watch of this caliber. Ha ha ha. What a watch pun. Power reserve, 43 hours. Honestly, not really much to talk about here, but. Terry, knowing that this is an 18 karat gold watch, what would you expect the price to be? With an in-house movement, all of these things.
I'd be expecting upwards of 10 grand.
Upwards of 10,000 Great British pounds. Well, audience, fellow watch gremlins, I want you to get a figure in your mind and think how much you expect this watch from Nomos, a brand which is very budget friendly for the quality and the craftsmanship that goes into the pieces. I want you to think of a figure that this 18 karat rose gold limited edition watch is, and then throw it out the window, because this watch costs £8,600 and I find that deeply impressive, actually. It's got an in-house caliber, which is amazingly thin. Terry, is this the greatest watch you'll never see?
I think it might just be.
It might just be the greatest watch you'll never see. I really like it. I think it's pure class. I think that single accented subdial is wonderful. You know, Brit, Watch Gringer, often talks about the fact that she's too harsh on a new release. I sometimes think I'm too lenient and too lovely on new releases. I genuinely just think this one though is lovely. I genuinely think it's a really, really nice watch. My opinion might change. It never usually does, because it's a watch, so I like it. But what do you think? Yes, you. I'm looking into your soul. And what do you think, Terry?
I think it's classy.
Yeah, it's classy. If you think it's classy, put a comment down below. Talk to me. Tell me what you think. If you don't care, put a comment down there saying that anyway. And don't forget to subscribe, because we have more content coming up. For example, our Bremont tour, which is coming at some point. That's going to be like our Dr. Dre Detox album. But over everything, the most important thing to always remember is watch yourselves.